Joining us now, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, Fox News national security strategist, former strategist to President Trump, author of the new book, Why We Fight. And Seb, I've got to say, Whoopi was, she was tested beyond her limits there by the judge. Jeanine having not backing off 1 ounce. Good for the judge.
Yeah, don't get into an argument with Judge Jeanine Pirro. That's my recommendation.
I'm going to do that. That was the thing I was worried about happening.
But, TDS used to be a joke. Trump derangement syndrome used to be a conservative joke. Lou, it's real. We just saw it. And what your viewers may not know, because Judge Jeanine just revealed it earlier today, after the segment was taped or aired, Whoopi Goldberg went insane. She used foul-mouthed language I can't repeat on television, and told Jeanine to get and told her to get out of the beep building, and just absolutely was unhinged. Yeah. And it's the left in a nutshell, Lou.
Yeah, well, the program does what I guess it's designed to do. Which makes itself as outrageous as imaginable, even by the leftist standards. It's truly remarkable of what is happening. Your thoughts about the second phase of outrage on the part of the esteemed national left-wing media, now that President Trump has revealed that he is laying the foundation for a second Trump-Putin summit?
Well, Lou, I think you know my family background. There's no love lost between me and former KGB colonels. My father, having been arrested, tortured and imprisoned by communist secret police officers. But I have to say, this is a masterstroke. This is the president pressing exactly the right buttons he needs to press to make heads explode in the fake news industrial complex. This is an important country because it spans 11 time zones, has nuclear weapons, has a veto seat on the UN Security Council. Vladimir Putin is a bad actor. He's destabilizing numerous parts of the world. But the president, as the most powerful man in the world, can meet with whoever he wants to meet as regularly as he wishes to do so, because guess what? He won the election. Sorry, I didn't say guess what. He won the election.
Why didn't you say guess what?
I know I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
It ruined the narrative there because we weren't sure.
I was on a roll. I was on a roll.
It's terrific. I just find right now what this president has to put up with from the ignorance of the left in this country is proportions that we've never seen. This is a man who should be getting credit from the very people, whether they be Democrats, whether they be the national left-wing media, whether they be the Republican establishment or Democratic establishment and the globalist elites. Look what he's doing for the global economy. Look what he is doing for the American economy that is driving that global growth. The International Monetary Fund coming out with new projections. Their projections are, I will admit, historically wide of the mark, often and perhaps usually. But I agree with them. I mean, the strength of the U.S. economy is going to drive the global economy for years because of this president's commitment to deregulation, to cutting taxes, to creating initiatives that this free enterprise economy thrives on. We have people suddenly saying, he's being too nice to Vladimir Putin. Why didn't they say he was being too nice to Xi Jinping? Why didn't they say to Kim Jong-un? It's as if the national left-wing media has married neocons, and their coverage is the fruit of the union.
And Lou, in the history of diplomacy, no head of state has actively insulted another head of state standing next to him. Kennedy didn't do it to Khrushchev, Nixon didn't do it, Reagan didn't do it. Nobody does it, and the expectation of the left is an artificial one, and we know Russia.
Let me just ask you, I mean,
Go ahead.
I don't think that President Trump said Rocket Man is a compliment when referring to Kim Jong-un.
But not with him standing next to him. I mean, this is what they expected in the press.
So they won't do it face to face, but behind their back. Is that the idea? One of the things I admire about President Trump is he'll take care of it face to face if that's the way he feels. It's an important signal that this president is trying to build bridges rather than pursuing a collision with military, with unfortunate military results. I think he should be credited, don't you?
I think the most telling thing of all is that the left-wing media hadn't had a problem with Russian so-called interference in anybody's election for 70 years, and now they do. The only reason they have a problem with it now is because Donald Trump won the election. So it's all artificial, and to your point of giving him credit, we expect the left to try and hammer this man for 8 years. That's what they're going to do. But my big problem is that the Republicans don't stand up for this man. That there's half a dozen people on Capitol Hill.
You know who they are.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, we know who they are.
You know, let's name names. You're talking about the arrayed forces of the Chamber of Commerce, the Business Roundtable, the Koch brothers, Wall Street.
The Bush.
The what?
The former Bush whole clique.
Yeah,
yes,
well,
right.
And the Clinton clan and a few other clans. Dynastic politics is, to me, should be a non-starter in this country, but no one sometimes consults me on these things. Dr. Sebastian Gorka, we're always delighted to consult you.
They're watching you, Lou. Thank you, Lou. God bless.
Thanks so much. You too.
Joy has the day off. Megan is visiting her family. And back to guest co-host, please welcome conservative commentator Tara Sentmeyer. Hey, Tara! So, unless you were under a rock yesterday, you know all about Jeanine Pirro's appearance here on the show. Now, things got hot on the air, which you expect. That happens a lot. But I want to clear up what happened afterwards, because she talked about it on Fox News last night and Fox and Friends this morning, or The Five, or whatever it is. But she seemed to leave out some key points because, well, she left a lot of pertinent stuff out. And there were a lot of people backstage, and I want to be very clear about what happened. So there's a lot of spin that she's doing, and I can't do anything about that, but I can tell you what went on. She was upset when she got here because Ana Navarro was here instead of Joy. And after the segment, which ended when it was supposed to, it was not early, it was not late, it ended when it was supposed to, she then called everybody at the table a name I cannot repeat on TV and said it in front of the audience. When I came off stage, I went over there because I was a little hot. Okay, so I went to calm down. She came off, she could have just passed me. She didn't need to stop, but she stopped and put her finger in my face and yelled, "I've done more for victims than you ever will." Then I said to her some few choice words I cannot repeat. Yes, I did say it. I did say it. But I did not spit on her. I did not intimidate her. No one chased her out of here. But she did leave here cursing at the people who booked the show. She cursed at the guys who do the security for the show. So I did say to her in the middle of all this, you and I have never had a problem before. You know, and then I had to go back to work to finish the show, which should tell you none of us were chasing her because we still had another segment to do. So for 20 years, the show has always had people on with different views, like Newt Gingrich, Corey Lewandowski, Charlotte Pence, Sarah Sanders, Trey Gowdy, Dana Perino, Jenna and Barbara Bush, Jeanine, good luck with your book. I hear it's #1. I preferred your last book about Robert Durst, but there's no accounting for taste, you know? I like the book. I like the last book. So that's what happened, and I suspect this is going to go on because she has a show on Saturday and stuff. But look, you can come to this show. We treat everybody with respect, but you cannot come and call people names. You cannot point at people, and you can't do this to people. And people who know Jeanine know exactly what I'm talking about. They know that she likes to stir it up. I rarely get stirred up, but I got stirred up yesterday. I did apologize for getting hot. I said it doesn't happen often. Every 10 years, it seems. So, moving on.